All right, so he can be cunning, he can be smart, he can be somewhat of a strategist, but he doesn't need to be. I never see him as like this guy that needs to be on par like with like the top minds in the world, like yeah, just like mind power, basically like your super geniuses. I don't think he's anything compared to Lex Luthor or should ever be portrayed that way. I don't think he should be anything to any of the top scientists, Adam, Brainiac, or any of the super geniuses. I don't think he should be anywhere remotely close to their level at all. There's plenty of like guys in the DC like roster that can be really smart and like in scientific kind of areas and just having like a great mind kind of like that. Batman's is more like I don't necessarily feel like he should have been like a ultra super genius. He should have been just someone that I work really hard and I'm maybe average, maybe better than average, kind of mind, but I'm not. He's not like just naturally gifted. Like Luthor's just that good. Like he is just super smart from like when he was young. He's just got the perfect mind, perfect, everything. He's just way smarter than everyone else. Batman doesn't need to be that. He doesn't need to be on par with him. Someone like Luthor needs to be that smart because he's going up against Superman. He's going up against a guy that's, ultra powerful. Batman has to fight criminals and stuff. He should have like a superb understanding of like the criminal mind. That should be his area of expertise. No one should, basically be superior to him there. He should be great there. He should have, pretty good knowledge of the sciences and stuff. And if not, he can easily gain access to that knowledge because he's, got plenty of money. But as far as him being like on par with them, like like if they were play chess or like with any of these guys, I think they should just be able to smash him like no problem. I don't think he should be anywhere near as good as the top, elite people. World's greatest detective, not world's greatest scientist or greatest scientific mind. The other thing that often annoys me is like everyone always says he can win a fight against anybody. And while I do love a lot of times when like heroes are up against somebody that they can't be, like in the Avengers, I loved it when Captain America fought Loki. He's fighting a guy that was stronger than him, faster than him, had more powers than him, had ranged attacks he could use against Captain America. Captain America really wasn't superior like anywhere. Loki was probably even like smarter than Captain America, I would say. Yeah, and has more experience fighting, definitely. So he's superior over Captain America, who didn't give up and he kept fighting and stuff like that. Now, I love that in like the characters. That's why I love that scene. Batman has he's kind of like that, but it's different. His often comes across as annoying. A lot of times when people always say he can win, people are always arguing he can win in a fight against like anybody. Just give him enough time to prepare and he'll be fine. To me, that's okay. Usually the person they're always talking about is Superman. That's the guy they're always thinking can beat him. Or they're saying that Batman can beat Superman. Usually, like, they're always thinking about kryptonite, so who cares, like, if Batman can beat Superman with kryptonite, a child could beat Superman with kryptonite, just, walk up to him with it. So it's, what are you trying to, what's the point? Does it really matter, if you can beat him with kryptonite? And, there's, like, anti-kryptonite or something that hurts humans, or things like that. If that just appeared next to Batman, that could kill him, just like if, kryptonite appeared next to Superman, that could kill him. Who really cares? Like, if you can do that. Not to mention, like, how's he going to, like, fare against other people? Like, Wonder Woman or, the Green Lantern, like, when he has to fight them. These people should be able to, smash him pretty easily every time. But, I mean, let's talk about some of the fights that he's had against, like, people that are, like, stronger than him and tougher than him. And again, a lot of times it's a case of that character acting stupid. Like, for instance, in, I think it was Frank Miller's Batman Year One, I think it is, which I like Frank Miller actually a lot. And I was even enjoying kind of the comic, but there's parts of it that kind of annoy me. Like, okay, he locks Hal Jordan in the yellow room or whatever, and from then, like, Robin's able to beat up on Hal Jordan, like, really easily. Okay, Hal Jordan, even if yellow is his weakness, locking him in a room full of yellow doesn't mean jack to him. I mean, he's overcome plenty of, people with yellow weapons before, and he can still just create constructs and just, like, bombs, and then the impact from them could, hurt the characters. It's dumb that he's having a problem, like, with this, like, oh no, you locked me in a yellow room, I don't care. And you should just, like, just slap Batman around like it was no problem and just been done with it. Because Batman was just stupid and cocky. He wasn't like he just used yellow right away and ambushed Hal Jordan, which would have been one thing. It's that he, was trying to, like, oh, look, now you're, like, completely helpless, which is, like, I don't know, it's just dumb. Again, it's another case of making another character just look weak so Batman looks good. Just write the other character stupid or write the other character weak and Batman will look great, And I hate that. See here, just another characters are Superman. everyone talks about, I guess, that he won that fight in was another Frank Miller in The Dark Knight Rises, The Dark Knight Strikes Again, or something like that. Okay, he didn't. Okay, did he really win? Like, okay, usually most people think you win by knockout, submission, or killing your kind of opponent. Usually those are the ways you win. Or, maybe, I don't know, you hurt him more, I guess. If the fight just ends kind of prematurely. Okay, let's look at the fight. Who lost consciousness? Batman did. Who got hurt more? Well, they both got hurt a lot, but Superman definitely was going to heal from his wounds before Batman would. Who was going all out and who was holding back? Okay, Batman said he was holding back, but couldn't Superman have killed him at like any moment if he really wanted to? If you even watch the fight, like Superman's not even wanting to fight, and he's still beating Batman for the most part. And then 3, the big one is Batman didn't really beat him one-on-one. Okay, like for instance, Green Arrow shoot him with a kryptonite arrow. So who cares? Why didn't Green Arrow beat Batman? What was Batman's plan? Okay, so if Batman and Superman were fighting and Batman somehow got the upper hand, was beating the crap out of Superman, and then Captain Marvel and Wonder Woman came over and grabbed Batman and slammed his head into the wall, I would count that personally as a victory for Batman. I'd say he's winning, but no, according to the logic that a lot of people say, Batman won that fight with Superman in the Dark Knight Strikes or whatever would be or Dark Knight Strikes Again or whatever would mean that Superman. So here, the fight where Captain Marvel and Wonder Woman interfere to help Batman or help Superman, win by knocking out Batman. I'd give that fight to Batman, and the fight in the movie I'd have to give to Superman. Even if Captain Marvel and Wonder Woman, well, that was Superman's plan. Who would give that victory? No Batman fan and no Superman fan would say, well, Batman lost to Superman. No, they'd say, well, Superman was getting his butt kicked and lost that fight and needed help. Completely. People won't let it, slide both ways, But, so yeah, I mean, in my opinion, Superman won that fight. Batman was the one that was hurt more. Batman needed somebody to help him. And to top it all off, even if all that was true, Superman never gave up and Batman lost consciousness. Even if it was his plan to lose consciousness, that's, okay, you planned to lose. And even like when Batman gave his whole speech, that's actually what I loved about the Batman gave this whole stupid speech about how I'm the one that beat you and all that crap. You know what Superman's worried about? He's worried about Batman. Like, are you okay? Are you still hurt? And Batman he gets all mad and kicks him in the face because through it all, it's just neat because Superman doesn't care. It's just I'm actually the one that was holding back the whole time and could have killed you any second. And you're the one that's actually about to lose consciousness and it looks like you're actually about to die. It's funny, but Batman's, guy's big ego. It's no, I beat you, I did. It's even though if I needed a bunch of people's help and you weren't really trying to fight me, I beat you. It was stupid. It's not a victory worth bragging about because it's really not even a victory. He lost. He lost on every account. He lost consciousness, got beat up, and needed assistance, in order to win. It's not a victory for him. You can give the victory to the team. Well, not really. I don't know, because let's face it, Batman still got knocked out and Superman didn't get captured, so yeah, or killed, so he didn't really lose at all. To top it all off, wasn't Superman weak from saving the whole planet from a nuclear war or something like that? I don't know. Well, another little argument I've heard that kind of irritated me about Batman was it had to do with Hal Jordan, and the Guardians made a mistake by letting Hal Jordan have the ring instead of Batman. This one kind of annoys me, in my opinion, because I think what drives Batman, to have his will is always fear. So with fear, in the back of his mind, always causing him, his problems. I don't think he would be nearly as good as a Lantern as Hal Jordan. Not to mention fighting with the ring's a lot different than fighting, just normal hand to hand. He'd probably make a good Yellow Lantern, but I mean the whole not killing thing just comes across as stupid. So why should we fear him? I don't think he'd be nearly as good as Sinestro at that either. I don't think that's his expertise, and I don't think fighting with those powers would be his forte. Now, would he make at least a decent Green Lantern or a decent Yellow Lantern? Well, I mean, if he got the ring, he'd be written, superbly powerful because, that's what they try to do with that, and they try to just, they'll make everyone else look like garbage to make him look good. But they'll still say, oh, it's cool though because he's just a normal human. Look, he doesn't feel like, a human at all. Unless he has to go back and fight a clown or some burglars that, put a bit of a hurting on him. I don't know.